Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Do you know why? It's a beautiful Thursday night here in Alta Confusion Podcast Land.
Because we're back, and Zeta hasn't fucked with us.
And we have power and electricity, and it is glorious, and there's no trees that fell on my house. How about you? How did you guys fare? Did you guys have any issues for
we lost power for 2 days, and then it came back. And then another tree, which was in this basically across the street from the tree that fell that knocked out the power line, decided to fall down late Halloween night and knocked out the power again. Because on our street, the lines sometimes zigzag across.
Yeah.
And so it hit one of the zigs and then hit the zag on Halloween night. Thankfully, all the kids were done trick-or-treating and already in their sugar comas.
Yeah, I spent all day, I think it was Friday, scrubbing up my fridge. It was very exciting.
Fantastic. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus. This show is where we take your comments, topics, and questions and try our best to cover them with you during this week's show. If you didn't get a chance to submit your topic, question, etc., have no fear. You can drop it in the chat, and we will add it to the show. If the unfortunate happens, and that is we run out of time, we will add that question, topic, whatever, to the beginning of the next show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. All right, since we were off for an extra week, I'm not exactly sure what's truly old news or what's new news, so we're just going to go with news.
What if it's 4 years old?
So, of course, we are literally within arm's reach of the release of the Xbox Series XYZ squared, cubed, square root, reimagined, rebooted sequel of something.
What are we rebooting? I'm very confused.
The Xbox?
The Xbox is being rebooted, so we're getting an Xbox Zero?
That would be cooler than what they came up with. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the Xbox, the new Xbox is supposed to come out November 10th, 2020, and the PlayStation 5 will be coming out November 12th, 2020. Now, there has been some interesting news that did come out recently about the new or latest and greatest Xbox that will be coming your way, and that is out of the 512 gig solid-state drive, you only have access to 364 gigs of that drive. Why, may you ask? Because the OS takes 29% of that hard drive.
And if you install, Modern Warfare, that's 120 gigabytes alone right there.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is 136 gigs. So basically, that game alone will eat your hard drive.
So I guess here's the conundrum.
Yes.
So you have the Xbox Series S, which is $299.
Yes.
The Xbox Series X, which is $499. So $200 price difference. I guess the question is basically 300 gigabytes of free space. We're just rounding here. Do you want to play the uninstall and reinstall game? Potentially.
I mean, that's what we're that's what we're doing with in Steam with PCs or any platform that's got Steam or whatever, you're playing that game where, of course, you immediately try to install all the games you've purchased in Steam until you remember how many games you have in Steam, and then you have to selectively remove those games.
Well, we're also in a situation, though, where we're only really doing it for ourselves. If you have a family who plays,
absolutely,
that space don't take long to go away. And, of course, the other issue, well, I wouldn't call it an issue. The other thing you have to be aware of is the expansion for either of this Xbox. You have to buy the proprietary storage, which was $230 if I remember right.
Don't quote me on that, but I believe that sounds right.
Which gets you another basically terabyte rounded up by a few gigabytes. But now you're looking at the same price as the Xbox Series X to start with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird situation where, for me, I think if the Xbox Series S had the 1 terabyte of storage like the X, for $200 cheaper, it would almost be a no-brainer option to select that for most people. I'm $300 for that? That's a hell of a deal to me. but just that storage gives me big time pause, because if you're going to upgrade your storage, you might as well just bought the Series X then while you're at it.
Agreed. Audience, anyone want to chime in on this? Now, here's the interesting thing. Okay, so you have the fact that 29% of the Xbox, the new Xbox's hard drive is going to be eaten alive by the OS. Then, of course, the PlayStation 5. There is a slot for an expandable solid-state drive.
That's right.
However, there is no support for that solid-state drive. It's a PCIe 4.0 NVMe solid-state drive. Now, of course, you could do a USB hard drive, and you could do that right off the bat. However, the NVMe solid-state drives have to hit more than 5.5 gigabytes per second of bandwidth and fit into the bay and be compatible with Sony's I/O controller.
Well, the other trick too with the externals, at least for the Xbox, is the external hard drive or solid state drive only works for like I forget what the term is. There's like the special term for games that are like optimized for the special sauce internal solid state drive. So you can't even do all games necessarily on an external hard drive.
Oh, fun. Well, I don't understand. Microsoft, you make no sense, okay? Your main OS is on a platform that most people build.
Yep.
And why the fuck are you still stuck with this proprietary bullshit?
Well, I think it's two reasons. One is a little bit of differentiation from Windows, because they're so similar. So it's a case usage of why to buy them. So it kind of like separates your PC from your Windows. And I think it does. I mean, there is that NVMe special sauce. It actually is a special sauce that makes it faster for loading and all that stuff.
But that's the PlayStation.
Well, Xbox has it too.
OG
Xbox.
Phoenix O says, sounds like they need an external with some sort of smart cache, but
Oh, smart cache. That's a term I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
I remember that was like all the rage. Remember you could get like the USB flash drives to put into your computer to be like smart cache for your swap file.
Swap.
To like speed things up.
Swap.
Yeah, so it is interesting. But I do wonder if part of it is the peripheral price game too, where Microsoft is also getting cut of these $230 solid state drives. And it's some of that sweet money to make up for the cost of, because they're also not exactly selling these consoles at a profit either.
No,
That's
no.
part
I
of
mean,
it.
well,
So,
let's be honest. You're paying for the services.
I mean, you can build a PC for the price of the consoles right now. I mean, obviously in a couple of years, talk to me again. But right now, for the hardware you get, it's a phenomenal deal.
True. Now, there is a bit more news about the PlayStation 5, and this is the fact that Sony has basically sent out a cease and desist to a company whose name is, I shit you not, PlateStation. PlayStation was offering a set of panels to replace the stock white ones. They were going to charge $40 a pop. They were going to come in chromatic silver, cherry red, black, blue, and jungle camo. Unfortunately, Sony goes, that's intellectual property. No, you cannot create custom PlayStation 5 covers. So in order to save some momentum, because they basically they apologized to all the customers that had already pre-ordered all these covers. They will give you a discount for their vinyl skins that you can apply over the white PlayStation 5 stock panels.
Yeah, the fact that they're claiming infringement over a panel that's not even the original panel, but just when you replace, is asinine to me. It's no different than a car where I can have a custom exhaust on my car, and yet GM's not filing, like trying to sue me for that. This is totally crazy to me.
No, okay, so this is something that this type of thing has happened many times. When I had when I was in school at Full Sail, when I had my 360, there were like, I guess, under the table companies that could get you custom casing. The problem is, as soon as you bust that panel or casing off, you void the warranty.
Well, that's fine. I mean, post all the warnings you want that if you open up the case, you void the warranty. I have no problem with that. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand. Look, you run it's $40. You run the risk of screwing everything up by removing it and try to put it in. That's what she said. I walked right into that one. Okay, so but
that's what she said.
Yeah, look, I mean,
I can't defend Sony
I can't.
at all on this one.
I can't. I really can't. I mean, anybody out there, can you say, oh, yeah, Sony's in the right on this one?
I think it's one of those common things, though, where if Sony was in the right or wrong, the reality is whoever they're suing in this case, they don't have the resources to defend themselves.
Oh, no, they were a startup.
Yeah, so it's one of those where it's like, really?
Yeah, it's a big boy move.
And the crazy thing is like, if Sony plans on selling unique custom panels, okay, cool. But if not, then like, wouldn't this, if anything, like be a boon to your franchise in terms of getting people interested in your console even more because they can customize it? I mean, that seems kind of cool to me, actually.
But Sony's not going to make any money.
Like, if I could like if they came up with their own side panels. Interesting.
See, here's the thing. This is how I look at it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to date myself too much, but back in the day when the Wii first came out, they showcased it with the Wii in several different colors. You had your red, you had your baby blue, you had your yellow, you had your black, and your white. And then it ended up being like they're all white. The thing is, it costs too much to have that kind of variety and not really and not know what's going to sell like hotcakes.
I would agree.
So what you see is it's kind of like concept cars. It's like, this is the cool shit we could do, but we're going to give you like the one that just does the bare minimum.
Like what would be really cool, like from what I've seen of the PS5, is to have like almost like a soft like blue LED coming up from the bottom. Would actually look really good on that console because it's so freaking big.
Yes,
why.
And yeah, it's like a freaking like tower speaker. Actually, that reminds me. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you have the dock for it, you can buy one of those LED front panels. That basically light it up. I mean, you're not really. It's basically just like an attachment to it. OG Phoenix. The 360 had a removable faceplate, including a printable one. Yes, absolutely. But I'm talking about the entire box. Although, well, no. I mean, the PlayStation covers were going to be the entire thing. You would have to remove the panels and put new ones on. My question is, how did they get the exact measurements and know how it's going to fit snugly on that? They stole one.
Ooh, or they were snuck one.
Ooh, they were snucked one. Is that even a word?
They sneaked in.
Snakadid.
Ooh.
There you go. But, look, the Xbox is coming out, the PlayStation is coming out, and I will tell you this right now, I am not getting either of them. There's no reason.
My problem is, like, I want the PlayStation 5, but at the same time, I still have to finish playing Xenosaga, which who knows if I'll ever finish that because it's probably like a 80-hour game.
Xenosaga, right?
And I also bought Zelda Breath of the Wild finally because it was on sale.
Mm-hmm. You dump a lot of time in that too.
I know. So I've with how much I'm playing video games lately, I have like a year's worth of games right there on the Switch.
So Zealeus will be purchasing his choice next Christmas. Now, speaking of all the gaming and stuff, we all know that everything, the push for cloud computing is in full swing, and the interesting thing. Okay, so little background here. I work in the IT department of a public university in the state of Georgia. And I was on a call today with a bunch of IT people from around the state. And they brought up some very interesting things. So, with cloud computing, you're basically, or always online, you are at the mercy of your ISP.
Sure.
And of course, we live in Atlanta, or Altered Confusion is based out of Atlanta, so we have pretty good infrastructure and speed or whatever. But the thing is, with so many schools being virtual, the glaring issues of the lack of consistency through the infrastructure, through the lines and where everything's laid, and the upkeep of that has become very apparent.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're basically getting, in a roundabout way, a little preview of, some always online type of situation. Now, of course, in Atlanta, you're probably not going to see any problem. Well, it depends on where in Atlanta, I guess. But, when you're in a little bit more of a rural area where you're required to have that online presence, or some of your gaming power is being brought to you, you're at the mercy.
Definitely. So we actually see major problems with video streaming with the ability of students to have a constant stream back to the classroom. Because most people forget, you have most households have an asynchronous download versus upload, meaning you might have 100 gigabyte download speed, but then you only have like 10 megabits up. And the problem is, you got 3 students going concurrently. You have a mom or dad working from home. It really does not take long to saturate that pipe from video.
Agreed.
And we definitely see it. We definitely saw it over COVID, where there was definitely families who struggled because they had so many students, so many people in the house eating up that pipe. Not only that, but just from the not fiber, the coax NOx were also being overloaded too, because they all basically feed out of one coax coming to like in a condo or apartments. That's where actually we're finally getting our own dedicated fiber circuit for that exact reason, because we were definitely seeing degradations at times.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is, and this is actually in one of my dreams, this might cause something to change in this wonderful United States of America. So once upon a time, before I worked IT in a public university, I worked at Cox Communications, a telecom company, who loved the fact that, I don't know when the hell they set this up, but basically telecom companies cannot invade upon other telecom companies' footprints. The only way to take over a footprint is if you basically buy out the company. But with all this craziness, we're looking at potentially maybe having to rethink this because of how, blatant the issues have been with trying to do this. Excuse me. Of course, it will take an act of Congress, literally, to make this change. But it would be interesting. Maybe this will finally be the thing that pushes us back to, what was it? Making it a utility. Where you have one company that basically does the upkeep of the lines and everything, and then you basically have all these companies to give you the best deal. Holy shit, competition.
I know, competition in the field. I mean, the other big dream, where if it ever actually comes to fruition, is wireless. In terms of like Verizon has talked about like their 5G in the house. The problem with that is you basically have 2 different 5Gs. The ubiquitous 5G you can get anywhere is really not a whole lot faster. It's I think it's like called shortwave 5G, where that's the super fast one, but you can only get it in very, very specific locales.
So
Yeah.
So for those in areas that are serviced by Comcast / Xfinity, whatever the hell they call themselves these days, I know that a lot of people are like, well, they've got, all those Xfinity Wi-Fi spots for you. Fun fact, the vast majority of those are you're piggybacking off of someone else's router.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, those Xfinity's wireless connections that you're seeing is basically like a little piece of the bigger Xfinity router. So, oh my God, you can get Xfinity wireless everywhere if the routers are working. So when you have a humongous power outage like we did last week, and you can't do shit because you don't have internet at your home, and you're like, well, I just used the Xfinity one that I always have. You can't get that either because no one has the internet.
Yep. I mean, typically if you have a bigger house, which I think actually can get now part of like an Xfinity deal, is like the 3 mesh network access points, basically.
Well,
like, don't you have that, don't you?
Yeah, I've got mesh.
Yeah, and that's really the way to go if you have a bigger house, is get the mesh network system.
Right, but I'm just talking about,
well, if your internet doesn't work, yeah, you're screwed.
Right, exactly. And they've, how long have the telecom companies been toting this this magical 5G? They'll make internet lightning fast for everyone. It's not. Look, it's the same as if you get poor cell phone reception in places, you're going to get poor 5G reception in places. Until they deregulate it and have someone basically set it up so that you have a true mesh network, so that everyone basically is on a level playing field. No.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. I mean, even think of like Google you think of a company with infinite resources, it's Google, and even they were like, screw it, this isn't worth it.
Well, there's just I mean, there were so many hoops you had to jump through, and then you had to coordinate. It depend on the county or the city or the state or whatever, the EPA. I mean, there were so many hoops they had to jump through that it's just, as awesome as it would have been. And I'm sure, I don't know, did anyone out there, did you or do you still have Google Fiber?
It came, I want to see actually where it came to, because it was so close to where I live.
I was in the second phase, and we never truly got the first phase done. So,
yeah.
You bastards.
I'm trying to find, I remember they had their availability maps. I'm trying to find where it was.
Oh, well, that shit's long gone now. But then again, we're talking about Google, who literally was like, hey, let's start something called Google Wave. Nah, shit, that's not going to work. Hey, let's have Google Phone. Well, I guess if people are actually using it, they can keep it. But otherwise, we're going to scrap it. Which, by the way, I still have my Google phone number. So, booyah!
Ooh. Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's actually the Google way, though. That's always my problem with Google is, are they going to disconnect it tomorrow?
Well, or it's going to just stay in beta forever. How many years was Gmail in beta?
Forever. I remember when it was a big deal for giving out people beta invites.
Yeah, man. I gave myself an invite so I could have 2 different addresses.
Nice.
I'm slick like that. But I saw in the chat just a wee bit ago that Sam Grizzle was talking about his favorite game, Battlefield. And Battlefield has a direct competitor by the name of Call of Duty. And there has been a little bit of and of course the company behind Call of Duty is Activision. Now, Activision sort of kind of made it into the news recently when dealing with a used-to-be sponsor partner. As many of you know out there, Dr. Disrespect was a huge Twitch streamer and then basically got smashed with the permaban hammer out of nowhere, or so we've been told. No one's still saying a damn thing. But during the time that Dr. Disrespect was doing his streams on Twitch, the vast majority of the streams that got the most traction were his Call of Duty streams. Now, of course, when he got banned, of course, he couldn't do it. But here's the thing, though. He is now YouTube streaming. However, Activision has continued to be distancing itself from Dr. Respect. So maybe, or Disrespect. So I don't know if they know something that we don't know, that we're not allowed to know. But Dr. Disrespect did come out and basically say this is bullshit. For all the humongous streamers out there, they get this thing called the creator code. And this is, your streamer, your content creators. You get these codes to basically get you access to the latest and greatest, so that you and a bunch of other big name streamers can showcase this amazing next game. Ooh. Of course, Dr. Disrespect did not get that code. And so he isn't going to be able to do this stuff. But to show you how much that Activision has distanced themselves, at one point, Dr. Disrespect had the partner status on the Activision Discord channel. He is no longer that. So not only did they punish or remove him from the gaming, but they also, on the backside was like, yeah, we don't want your name anywhere. So makes you wonder.
I feel like there's like something that happened that just for whatever reason has not been made public, but like people are in the know of what's going on, and they know it's only a matter of time before it blows up fully.
I know there's pending lawsuits out there. That much I know. I just don't know, of course, we don't know where it's at or what's going on, but something funky happened.
And that's kind of what I have a feeling is there's something there and somebody knows, but somehow it's been kept under wraps.
And to be totally honest with you, I'm impressed that it stayed under wraps. I mean,
that's my main thing.
You've got a huge social media influencer who got from the outside looking in, got smashed by the Insta ban hammer, and no one still knows what's going on. No bad pun on the name. But in this crazy ass world that we live in, I am flabbergasted that no one knows, or no one has leaked what the hell is going on with Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, somebody knows.
There's people who know, but they ain't saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so changing gears just a bit. Let's talk about SEGA is for now bowing out of the arcade industry. Yes, they dropped out of the console industry a long time ago, and then they decided to jump back in with the micro game gear, which looked like shit and whatever.
Which everyone was really interested in.
But as maybe not all of you know, but SEGA has always been a huge presence in the arcade industry, and especially in Japan and Korea and that kind of stuff. But because of the COVID, and the fact that there's no way in hell you're going to be able to keep all those cabinets clean enough for people to feel safe, or just the establishments that have the arcade boxes in there, Sega's like, we gotta go. Now I'll be interested to see what this will do. I mean, what will this do for the titles that are there? I mean, I'm guessing discontinued, because the thing is, what a lot of people don't know is that we're no longer for those of you who don't know, an arcade is a building that has these game boxes that have buttons and joysticks in it. And they have now, of course, super duper, gotten high tech. Everything's connected via some sort of net to pass information back and forth, so that you could continue to play your game if you had your player card or whatever. And there was some rumor a while back that Sega was going to try to kind of do what they called fog computing.
Fog computing. Ooh.
So basically, what they do is they would utilize some of the arcade machine's power to kind of do like a small cloud computing solution to kind of cut down on latency and whatnot.
That's kind of cool, actually.
But unfortunately, that has with them, deciding that they're going to step away from the arcade industry, that fog computing has also disappeared.
What is the highest grossing arcade game of all time?
I have no idea. Probably a game. It's not Golden Tee.
Gosh, no.
That's Street Fighter? Or no, Soul Calibur? No.
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody? I don't.
Think oldie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Gotta go older than that, bro.
Pong?
Newer than that.
All right, somewhere between Pong and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This should be easy. Donkey Kong.
Pac-Man.
Oh my God, why did I not think of Pac-Man?
Which you probably would never guess the second, which is right behind it, was Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. There you go.
But they've also had Pac-Man was released in 1980 and Space Invaders in 1978. So they had some time to make some profits.
What about Centipede?
I don't see that on the list.
I'm putting Zealeus on the spot.
Now, Street Fighter 2 is number 3 on the list.
That's not that big of a surprise. I mean, I played the shit out of that game too.
No, that was huge. I mean, think about how long that was a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, well. Hell, I haven't been inside an arcade in a very long time.
No,
although I was for many a years thinking about creating my own arcade cabinet and utilizing systems that, of course, would be free and would not be illegal to play old games, which would be free and not illegal. But of course, I can no longer find the hard drive that had all my shit on it died. Sam Grizzle says, side tech question. I don't understand 3G to 4G technology seem to upgrade everyone's phone. Will 5G do that? Technically, not all phones were able to upgrade from 3G to 4G. And not all phones will be able to upgrade from 4G to 5G.
The iPhone 12 is currently the only iPhone that can do it, actually.
Well, it's the same as modems. At some point, your modem's not going to be able to take the faster speeds because there's something called DOCSIS. I think they're at DOCSIS 3 now.
Well, I would say for cellular data, 3G to 4G was a huge leap, and almost for a lot of daily use, almost necessary. But 4G to 5G, if you get true 5G speeds, it'll be a huge speed increase. But I never really hear people complain about their 4G or LTE speeds. I mean, obviously, if people are using it as a hotspot and they're actually using it as their dedicated PC hotspot, that's different. But just for regular cell phone usage, I don't really hear too many issues with people with their 4G service.
Always in a crowd. That's where you get the issues. Sam said, I remember suddenly texting during a packed football game actually worked about 4 or 5 years ago and never did before. And to be honest with you, I can't say I've ever actually experienced that when I'm at a packed sporting event outside of baseball. My phone, it literally was like a roll of the dice. And I basically had about a 35% chance of being able to just text. God forbid I try to send a picture to someone.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I feel like it definitely has got better in the last couple of years, I'll say.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, it has.
Well, it's because there's more infrastructure being built.
Yeah, and that's where I don't know if 5G will actually help with the saturation issue. I think 5G is more about theoretical max input from a single phone. But you still have to share that among everybody else on that same, basically, network. That's always the issue.
OG Phoenix O says, once you get past streaming 4K video, there isn't much need for bandwidth on a phone.
Yeah, I pretty much agree on that. And even on a phone, like my little iPhone, I mean, going from a 1080p video to a 4K video,
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm watching it like this, where I want to see like every tiny pixel, I don't really care anything after.
What, you don't have
1080p.
like you didn't get your robotics team to build you like a custom like phone hat holder so you can just hold it right there?
Ooh, you're giving me ideas, sir.
You're welcome. That'll be $250. Just
No,
for the idea. I'm not actually going to build it, but I gave you the idea.
Could be on our outreach folder. How's that?
Okay.
Not the same.
No.
Well, if that try.
All right, so we talked about Sega, so let's talk about another big company that is always in the news, and that, of course, is Blizzard Entertainment. Or I guess, actually, we should have probably just done the Activision to Blizzard, because Blizzard, or Activision, whatever. Anyways, so BlizzCon Online, or BlizzCon Line, as some people call it, which will be completely virtual, happening between February 19th and the 20th. Now, in many, many years, or basically since BlizzCon really started rolling, there's been a premium virtual package that people can purchase, a virtual ticket, as it were. You can get a bunch of freebies and all that stuff, and you get exclusive access to panels that only those in attendance would be able to get access to. The president of Blizzard has confirmed that the event will indeed be completely free. He was noted saying, "We want it to be a big virtual celebration, so BlizzCon Online will be free to watch and engage in." Now, of course, the joke that's going around is, Blizzard's getting off easy because if they do some dumb shit like they did in the previous BlizzCon, they won't be able to hear the boos.
So it's basically like the Houston Astros not having to play in front of fans.
Yep.
Yeah. So it means they can talk about mobile Diablo all they want this year. Nobody can say anything.
Oh, Christ. Well, the rumor is Diablo 4, more about Overwatch 2, which I hope they just scrap that shit and just rework Overwatch.
That's the whole. Overwatch 2 is basically reworked Overwatch 1. They're not scrapping it.
Overwatch. Look, I don't even play Overwatch, okay? But the thing is, they put so much freaking money into this damn pro league, and it's getting the shit kicked out of it by a game that finally has gone like truly live and out of beta, and that is Valorant, because there's so much more you can do in that game. So just fix Overwatch. It's not like, I built a shitty house and I'm going to build, and instead of fixing it, I'm just going to build another shitty house.
Well, you forgot the minor detail. Overwatch is actually a great game. Like, the esports world is such a small, or pro level is such a small percentage of the actual gamesmanship of who enjoys a video game, that I would argue that really is not particularly relevant to the success of Overwatch. It's more about the fact there's still 10 million players of Overwatch in its own right as a hugely successful FPS.
See, we're talking about two different things here. What the Overwatch Pro League could potentially do is make it more mainstream, where you're now esports is going to break through that not a sport barrier. Well, of course, it wouldn't completely, but there was some validity by the fact that you had big name owners pouring money into something that, you're just going to play for fun? Wait, people are getting paid to do this? And now you've got all these other things that are already stealing the pro players away. It's not the fact that I don't think that the game is solid. I know that there are a ton of people out there who think the game is rock solid. But when you're in a competitive esports environment and you're trying to add validity to, this being a real deal, it sucks when you pour, each team was what? The inaugural season, each team had to pay $20 million for the buy-in. And then Atlanta, when they came in the season 2, that was $35 million. It's big money. And, like New England, that, of course, was Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots. They want to see a return on investment. It's not just, anyways. So, yeah. So, BlizzCon Online will happen February 19th through the 20th, 2021. And it will be free. So, any and all can attend it. I'm sure it's going to be, was it BlizzCon.com or something?
I couldn't begin to tell you.
I went to BlizzCon in person back in 2012, I think.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And, of course, Tenacious D was there. So that made it even more fun.
Even better to rock out to.
Let's see here. Sam Grizzle says, people gamble on Boveda's Madden 20 simulations on Twitch every night.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Boveda is it's one of the companies that puts out the lines, like the over-unders and whatnot. It's one of the gambling houses that kind of just set the lines. So, yeah, right. People gamble on that all the time. Sam has posted the Twitch link, live football sims. And yeah, absolutely. I do find it funny that Sam said, look, I would put, what the hell do you call those prop bets? Prop bets are these weird like side bets. During the Super Bowl, there's always prop bets about how long the national anthem's going to be, how many wardrobe changes the Super Bowl entertainment's going to have, who's going to fumble first, like weird stuff. So I would actually be very interested to see if there's prop bets for how many glitches will happen in this simulation of Madden 20. Will the yard line show up this time? But yeah, if you, I hate to say this, but there was some, I can't remember who said it, but they're like, look, if you can bet on it, it's a sport.
Well, okay. So you need to say is I need to have betting Saturday morning for my robotics matches.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell the kids that, dude, I'm going to be putting money on you. You better score well.
Look. Me and a bunch of other people, we're going to do an over-under on percentage completion and timing and all that stuff. I need you on your best.
And here's the deal. Like, I'm basically taking this year's budget and I'm betting it on you. So if you don't win,
not fuck me over.
You have no money. We can't buy anything else this entire season. So it's really your fault if we lose.
Exactly. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take a quick little pause here. Every single week we do a shout out to all those lovely supporters and friends of the show. So without further ado, let's start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to change the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. Now, of course, if we're going to give Indie Cluster a shout-out, we have to give Hero Chiropractic a shout-out. That, of course, is the one and only chiropractor for the AlteredConfusion, at least my family. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible. and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. As I've stated many, many times, Dr. Ryan is my chiropractor, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Now,
Indeed.
of course, another huge, awesome supporter and friend of the show is the one and only Craig Campbell and his company, Nerdburger Games. Nerdburger Games is the game design imprint of award-winning RPG designer Craig Campbell. Craig has done a whole bunch of RPG design freelancing in the past. Several years ago, he dove into designing his own RPG. Now, Nerdburger Games has multiple RPGs and is showing no signs of stopping. Nerdburger Games endeavors to create games that explore corners of the RPG landscape that haven't been explored very often. These games forgo dense game mechanics in favor of lighter rule sets that allow players to focus on telling fun, engaging, memorable stories. Now, if you have been keeping up with this, we do want to point out that Nerdburger Games, of course, they have from their catalog, Capers, Die Laughing, and Merzen Acquisitions, and they just completed another successful Kickstarter. This one is called Good Strong Hands. The original Kickstarter goal was set for $3,000, and it ended up, when it was all said and done, at $15,658. So congratulations to Craig and his team for creating yet another amazing Nerdburger game.
They did pretty damn awesome.
Now, of course, I do have to give a shout out to our local watering hole that once this whole COVID thing is done, I will be, as I've stated many times, I will be on a bar stool and I will be Ubering home because I have a lot of time to catch up on. And that, of course, is Battle and Brew. Battle and Brew is Atlanta's first and oldest gaming bar and restaurant. Opened in 2005, Battle and Brew had a very modest menu, a few beer taps, and focused heavily on gaming. Now they have grown to encompass so much more. They pioneered geek trivia in Atlanta and remain the hardest trivia in town. They have upgraded the menu from only a few items to all your bar favorites and some soon-to-be favorites. They've expanded the gaming and kept everything top of the line. They've taken a good place and made it a great place, a place where the staff listens to your desires and suggestions, a place where you and your friends feel like you're home, a place where everyone knows your name.
What is your name, sir?
Last time I checked, it was Charlie, but I could be wrong.
I never quite know these things.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are, let's see here, it is November the 5th, so... oh my gosh, in just a couple days, I will be participating for the 9th year straight. Wait, Nakamoto says, bar favorites. My favorite is usually the chubby brunette in the corner. Why stop there? There's so many more. Ooh, good question, Zealeus. But anyways, we are fastly approaching something that's happening this week, and for the 9th year straight, ladies and gentlemen, I will be participating in Extra Life. We are proud to say that we will be fundraising for Extra Life for the 9th straight year. Extra Life is gamers doing what we do best, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. Of course, ours is Children's Healthcare Atlanta. We will be gaming for 24 hours straight. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to our chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to do so, please donate to Altered Confusion. Go to extra-life.org and you can search for Altered Confusion. I guess this is the official announcement, I will, of course, be participating in this 24-hour gaming straight on Saturday morning starting at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be going from Saturday at 2 a.m. to Sunday at 2 a.m. I am not 100% sure what games I'll be playing, but something tells me I need to catch back up on Legend of Runeterra, and probably a shit ton of Nintendo Switch games that I've bought, but I have not been able to play because my kids have now taken over my Switch as well as I finally caved and got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Nice. I'm sure you deserve it.
Nakamoto says, gonna need some Adderall for that. side note, for those out there who don't know, I suffer from hypersomnia. Hypersomnia, basically, it's a form of narcolepsy. It's not like I will fall asleep immediately, but I have the ability to accidentally fall asleep when least expected. So I'm actually on medication that keeps me up. It's called Nuvigil, but I do also have Adderall as a supplement. So Nakamoto, I probably will not go hog wild on this stuff. However, I will have some in my corner just in case.
You never know, man.
I know. I never
Maybe
know.
you'll feel the urge, or maybe I'll just come over there and help you out.
I'm in quarantine, damn it.
The quarantines are meant to be broken, right?
God.
Isn't that how it works?
No, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. Anyways, so, excuse me.
I'm very sad I won't be able to join you, man. It's like the first time since I moved here.
I know. It's going to be sad. Zealeus will not be able to come chill and hang out at Altered Confusion headquarters. Now, to change a little bit of pace, most of you out there know this, but I'm going to remind you anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, Altered Confusion has a Patreon. We survive on the love and support of fans like you. And so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, become active participants in the work we love through monthly membership. This will give you access to exclusive content, community, and insight in our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work, the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. There are currently 2 tiers. However, the 2 tiers are $1 and $5 a month, which I'm going to be totally honest with you, not a whole lot of money. So
it's more money than I spend on
Nakamoto says, my man,
new
Nuvigil, Code Red, Diet, Mix, should do. Well, okay. I no longer do the diet route. I just go hardcore Code Red, regular Mountain Dew. No bourbon. I'll put myself to sleep with bourbon. But anyways,
that's what Adderall's for.
So Patreon has 2 tiers. It is a monthly donation or subscription. If you choose to be either the 1 or the 5, or maybe even higher, if you do have the ability to pledge more than 5 a month. If you do that, please contact me. I'm going to give you something special because you deserve that. Nakamoto, I have not changed. It's the fact that I learned the dirty truth about the synthetic sugar that's in the diet drinks that are actually much worse for you than just drinking the regular sugary stuff. But anyways, for those out there who do want to do a monetary donation to Altered Confusion, we do have a PayPal account set up. If you're watching this on Twitch, I think that's the only place that the button is still active. There is a donate now button below our twitch.tv/AlteredConfusion show. This would usually be the point where I'd be like, or you can go to our website. But ladies and gentlemen, the big reveal is we have transitioned into a new website. Same address, different look. So if you have the chance, go to www.alteredconfusion.com. It is there. I just for shits and giggles, I looked up the value of AlteredConfusion.com. And I was like, yes, I'm going to hold on to it, but yes.
We're valued. We have money.
Altered Confusion, Altered-Confusion.
Ooh, fancy us.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so, but if you decide that you want to be one of the many people who like to send in things to Altered Confusion, all you need to do is send them to Altered Confusion at 1551 Dunwoody. That's DUNWOODY Village Parkway. This is the super duper important thing. Number 88276. If you do not put that number 88276, you will go to the post office proper and it will be returned to you. That number is our P.O. Box number. It is required. The city is Dunwoody, once again, DUNWOODY, Georgia 30338.
So many cool things to send, like live grasshoppers.
I'm not exactly sure how they would deal with you sending live grasshoppers to a P.O. box?
You know what? There's only one way to find out.
Sure, go for it. You
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Sick man. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Well, one of the main things that could possibly go wrong is the fact that I haven't been to the post office in like a couple months. So, because I know there's a package there, but I don't have 2 hours to stand in line for that one dude who's dealing with all the customers where there's 4 fucking places that people could be. That's a different story for a different day.
There's always another story for another day.
But of course. So back into the stories, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, of course, make sure that you follow us or like us or favorite us or whatever the social media term is for the platform of your choice. We are on Facebook. That's facebook.com/AlteredConfusion. YouTube. That's youtube.com/AlteredConfusionLLC. Twitch, of course, is twitch.tv/AlteredConfusion. Twitter is @AlteredConfusio without the N.
But, dude, where's my N?
The N would break the internet. And also was a character cap back in the day. And then, of course, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's AlteredConfusion.
So many ways to follow us.
I know. Hopefully you follow us all. And make sure that you hit the notifications so that you are aware when we post stuff. Be it our live shows or highlights or anything along those lines. Now, since I was talking about Extra Life, I made mention that I will be probably playing a good chunk of Legend of Runeterra. For those out there who don't know, Legend of Runeterra is by Riot Games. Riot Games is the creator behind League of Legends. And you may notice, if you've ever looked at Legends of Runeterra, that many of the characters in League of Legends are also in Legends of Runeterra. Well, to make an even crazier loop, there is a League of Legends RPG called Ruined King, which is launching in early 2021. It is a story-driven title set in the League of Legends universe. It will feature some of the crowd favorites. It is being published, and this is, okay, so this is the cool thing, and I want to know, I'm going to have to look into this a little bit more, because this sounds like an amazing idea to actually expand your IP.
Okay.
And that is, it's being published by Riot Forge. Riot Forge is an initiative that allows third-party developers to create with the League of Legends license. The developers of this game is Airship Syndicate. That name may sound familiar to some, and that is because they are the developer behind Darksiders Genesis.
Oh, yep, I do recognize that game.
So
I haven't played it, but I recognize it.
So I'm very interested, because that would be awesome. I mean, yes, there's probably some kind of like vetting process, but if you could get,
I could create my own game.
Yeah, if you could get the backing of the IP supporter to create basically your passion project, that would be awesome.
It's basically like the anti-Nintendo strategy.
Bingo.
But I mean, it's the idea, though. It makes sense because you're leveraging the community to create games to further your brand. And to your point, I would assume that there is some kind of vetting process, because you just don't want you don't want me making your video game, probably.
It's basically Steam Greenlight, but works.
That seems kind of cool, actually. And I'm sure that they then get a cut of the profits for leveraging. I just got that. And I'm sure they get a cut of the profits for leveraging that IP.
Oh, God, yeah.
So it's like, what do you really have to lose? And I don't imagine, like, people aren't going to stop playing Legends of Runeterra because somebody else
or League of Legends
or League of Legends because somebody else created a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't really follow. So
look, there's still a shit ton of people who play franchises that have had really shitty games. There's a lot of shitty Star Wars games out there, but they're still making Star Wars games. Was a really shitty Dragon Age 2 game, but people are still playing Dragon Age.
I like Dragon Age 2.
Are you shitting me?
No. It was a straight up hack and slash. I smashed you in the face game.
Dude.
No strategy. It's great.
No strategy and no design or no effort put into the fucking game. As a once upon a time game developer, that entire game screamed at me to punch someone because it was so half-assed.
Did you punch anyone?
I don't recall. I may have.
I mean, I could help you out if you need to.
No.
Okay.
No. I may have, though, but I have since forgotten.
You never know.
Who knows? One of the other games that has been around for a while now is a game called WarFrame.
Yes.
I used to play a shit ton of WarFrame on the Switch, but of course I have not played it in a long-ass time. But there was news that came out that said that WarFrame will be on the next-gen consoles. And, of course, that will be a nice little upgrade with the graphics and whatnot. But, so, the way they word this announcement got me really excited, and then I got really pissed. And it said it's going to have cross-play with cross-play saves. I was like, holy shit. If I'm on my Xbox and I switch over to my Switch, I could use the same save. Or if I'm on my PC, I could do that. No. You need to insert a word between cross and play, and that is cross-gen play. If you're on your PlayStation and you have a PlayStation 4 save, you can play on both your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and your information is still there. And of course, if you had a PlayStation 5 and I had a PlayStation 4, we could team up and beat all the bad guys.
Well, it's like, sorry, go on.
And of course, that's just, damn it.
Well, so a recent one is, have you heard of Genshin Impact?
That name has been like all over the place, but
So it's basically it's a new gacha open world, basically anime, kind of looks like Breath of the Wild game. Hugely popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the PC, the mobile, and PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it annihilates the battery on this, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
Surprisingly.
It's like playing a game on the game. It's like playing a game on the Game Gear. Technically,
pretty close.
The system is portable. However, if you want to use it the way you want to use it, you're going to have to plug it into a wall, and it may burn down your house.
So with Genshin Impact, they have cross-platform save tied to your email account between cell phone and the PC, but the PlayStation version leverages the PlayStation and the PSN account, so you can't cross-platform save between that, but you can cross-platform play between the PC, the mobile, and the PSN.
Okay, so that last part makes no fucking sense, because let's just say 3 different platforms, okay?
Yep.
So if you can share a save, you could play with anyone on any of the 3 platforms.
Yep.
You should be able to have a save for all 3 platforms. I understand. They're doing it by PSN, but the PSN should probably still is attached to an email address. So
that is one of the negatives of the PlayStation in general. Is PlayStation? I mean, of the consoles between PlayStation and Microsoft, PlayStation's always the more walled off one.
They're the Apple.
They are. They're always console. Like, we're going to do our own thing.
We've got our own walled garden. Don't look at us.
So what does that make Nintendo? Are they like Linux?
No, they're that carefree kid who just precariously balances on the wall. Sometimes they're more on one side, sometimes they're on the other.
Sounds like the stoner.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or Stony.
Yeah. Anyways, but that's bullshit. Like, look.
I know.
I understand. Look, I do understand that there are some small differences between versions of games, But if you open up the ability for cross-platform, especially if you're going from mobile to any other, like a console or a PC, then it should be on. You should be able to play that damn thing on all of them.
You would think, sir.
You would think, but apparently I don't know. So I had a question that came in, and this is just, it's absolutely stupid, but I'm going to ask it anyways. And that is, Zealeus, to put you on the spot, what is the maximum number of tabs you have had on your computer that ended up being the exact same website?
The exact same website?
Yeah, let's say that, you're like, oh, it may be different windows, so it's not like, you've got a bunch of tabs back to back to back that say, I don't know, Gmail or AlteredConfusion.
Yeah.
But how many, when, like, the end of the day, when you try to close everything down, you're like, holy shit, I've opened up the same website X amount of times.
That really doesn't happen to me, to be honest.
Damn it. 8.
Of the same website?
Mm-hmm.
That's just
well, because the thing is,
silly.
I'll open something up, and then I might, I'll go do something, and then I'll be like, holy shit, I need to check something, and so the Chrome or whatever will be minimized. So I'll click on, whatever one of the instances of Chrome, and I won't see that website immediately. So I'll just, I'll open up a new tab and type in that website, and boom.
Yeah, I don't really have that problem.
Now, technically, it's it's the same website, but it won't be the same page. Like, I'll have read a story. OG Phoenix goes, quickly closes a ton of Stack Overflow windows.
Well, that's different, though. So, like, when I consider Stack Overflow, so, like, I do, like, a lot of, like, for instance, like, I'm researching how to do Cisco commands at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have, like, 6 different, the equivalent of Stack Overflow tabs open, but they're each a very different specific application of how to do Cisco commands. So one might be adding a VLAN to a switch port, and the other tab might be how to show all my interfaces summary. They might all be part of Stack Overflow, but they're very different applications of potentially similar things.
I think you're trying to get an out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say I mean, on my work laptop, I commonly probably have between 6 to 10 windows open. Each window will usually have about 5 to 10 tabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how I work.
No, so the thing is, my setup is, I, of course, because of the wonderful COVID, I have to work remotely. So literally, if I turn 9 degrees to my right, it's my my work setup, and I'm now looking at my my AlteredConfusion setup. So it has happened several times where I have the same shit open on both of them numerous times.
Yeah.
Because I guess get lost. But yes, 8. And but it fell more in line with Zealeus's, it was many different things, the same thing, but many different sections of it. It was what was it? I was researching something that I wasn't supposed to research. Let's put it that way. I was Jimmy rigging a system. And I needed
There's many systems that you could jerry rig.
I was trying to jailbreak something.
Ah, that does happen.
So I had lots of different pages of that one website open to go back to. And anyways, long story short, 8. That had nothing to do with that one. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that I did cover all of the topics that were given in. Yes, I'm going to sing while I do this, because that's how cool I am.
Please do sing to me.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so everybody stay safe. Hopefully no one gets the COVID. My family, unfortunately, well, not my immediate family, but my mom, my little sister, my brother-in-law, and their baby all have the COVID. So
No.
please be safe. Wash your hands. Wear the mask. Social distance. Do all the shit that smart people do. And just fake it until you make it. Anyways.
I'm maybe just going to never leave the house ever again.
That too. That works too. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our show. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything from our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.